I hadn't seen her in a month. Not a call, not a damn text, just silence. Then she strolled into my hospital room like she was walking into a brunch spot. Sunglasses on her head, not a hair out of place, not even a fake smile. And right behind her, Alex. Yeah, that Alex. My so-called best friend since third grade, standing there with his hands in his pockets and a smirk like this was a joke, and he was the punchline. Justine didn't even ask how I was doing. She walked straight to the little tray table beside my bed, dropped something on it like it was trash, and stepped back like she couldn't stand to be near me. It was a business card, black, shiny, expensive looking. Family law, divorce, and custody. Her name wasn't even on it, just a sticky note that said, "We've started the paperwork. He said you'll need to respond soon." He being the guy standing next to her, pretending not to enjoy this too much. "Alimony's gonna be $1,000 a month," Alex added, like we were talking about splitting a bar tab. We figured that was fair. Then he chuckled. Justine did too, like they'd already won. I looked at them. No emotion. I didn't flinch, didn't blink. My hands were still bruised from the last round of tests, but I reached for the card slowly, flipped it over, and then dropped it in the little trash bin next to the bed. "Fine," I said. "Let's divorce." Justine blinked just once, but I saw it. Alex's smirk twitched like it wasn't quite as sturdy anymore. "That's it," he said. "You want me to cry?" I asked. "Not gonna happen." Neither of them said a word. They stood there awkwardly for a second, then backed out like they had somewhere better to be. They thought they'd broken me, that the sick guy hooked up to machines was done fighting. They didn't know I'd been waiting for this. I already had a plan. I'd been working on it in silence, day after day, while my body broke down but my mind sharpened. Justine thought she was walking away with a paycheck and no blowback. Alex thought he could play dad and lover without consequences. They were wrong. By the time they'd left the building, I had already made my first call. Quiet, calm, focused. They wanted war? Fine. I'd give them war, and I wouldn't lose. I didn't always have it in me to plan revenge. That came later. Back then, I was just trying to build a quiet life. I was 47, worked from home, doing comic strips and indie games. Small stuff, cult following, paid the bills, and kept me creative. I liked that. Justine and I got married when we were 25. No kids by choice. We had the talk early on. Neither of us wanted the stress or the mess. We liked our freedom. At least, that's what she told me. We ran with the same circle for years. Dana was Justine's best friend from college, loud and flirty, the kind of woman who didn't know how to be in a room without being the center of it. She had a history. She'd bounce between guys in our group like it was a damn game, tease, sleep with them, then dump them cold once they caught feelings. I watched her wreck 2 relationships that way. She'd giggle about it over drinks like it was cute. Alex was my guy. We met in third grade, same hometown, same schools. We were always close. He was the kind of friend who'd show up with pizza during a bad week, or drive 2 hours to help you fix a tire. But even back then, he had a weakness for women like Dana. Loud, messy, unpredictable. When Dana met Leo, I thought maybe the chaos was over. He was a clean-cut finance guy, kind of stiff, but solid. Married her fast, too, within a year. And when she got pregnant, we all thought it might finally settle her down. But then Alex started hovering. At first it was little things. He'd offer to help paint the nursery, put together the crib, pick up groceries for her when Leo was out of town. Dana acted like it was normal. Justine thought it was sweet, but I saw it for what it was. That slow crawl people do when they want more, but won't say it out loud. I pulled Alex aside one night after game night at our place. Told him, "Back off a little, man. It's weird." He laughed like I was overreacting. "She's pregnant, dude. I'm just helping out." "Yeah? Help with boundaries instead." Justine overheard. She waited until Alex left, then lit into me. Said I was being paranoid. Said I didn't understand how close friends work. That I was being insecure. "Insecure?" I asked. "He's basically living at her house." "He's trying to help Leo," she snapped. "Leo's on the road 3 weeks a month. Someone has to step up." That was the moment something shifted. I remember it so clearly. The way she crossed her arms, the way she looked past me like I was the one out of line. I didn't say anything else that night. No point arguing with someone who's already decided you're the problem. A week later, Alex showed up at Dana's baby shower with a truckload of gifts. half of them labeled "From Uncle Alex." Leo wasn't even there. Had a meeting in Chicago, supposedly. I stood in the back of that room and watched Alex stand next to Dana like he belonged there, like this was his family. And Justine? She clapped along and kissed his cheek when he handed over the stroller. I started taking mental notes that day. No more giving the benefit of the doubt. I knew where this train was heading, and no one, not Justine, not Alex, not even Dana, could see it coming. After Bella was born, things went from weird to flat-out disturbing. Alex didn't just stick around, he doubled down. He was showing up at Dana and Leo's house 3 or 4 times a week, dropping off diapers, formula, tiny pink onesies like he was prepping for fatherhood. And Dana let him. Hell, she encouraged it. Said Leo needed the help with all the traveling he did. It wasn't help, it was replacement. Leo's job had him flying across states every other week, but even when he was home, Alex was still there, picking Bella up from daycare, babysitting to give Dana a break. He'd talk about her like she was his. She took her first step today, he told me once, grinning like a proud dad. I just stared at him. You're not her father? He laughed, shrugged. Somebody's got to be around. The man actually believed he was stepping up, like that made it okay. Like being needed gave him a pass to crawl into another man's home, take his chair, and play daddy. I started noticing the shift with Justine, too. Holidays started falling apart. Alex would skip Thanksgiving dinner to take Dana and Bella to a light show. Missed Justine's birthday to help Dana after Bella caught a cold. Every time I brought it up, Justine acted like I was the problem. You're so damn cold-hearted, she snapped one night. She's a single mom most of the time, and you want to guilt-trip your friend for helping her? She's not single, I said. She's married to Leo, who's not even your friend, by the way. Justine rolled her eyes like I was being dramatic, like none of it mattered, but it did. It all mattered. That whole year was one long unraveling. I could see it in every picture Alex posted online. Him holding Bella, Dana leaning on him like a wife would. And Leo, practically erased. I didn't even recognize our friend group anymore. Everyone acted like this was normal, like I was crazy for noticing. Then came the moment that finally snapped the cord. It was a Wednesday morning. I was working in my office, tight deadline, no sleep, when Alex just barged in like he owned the place. Shirt half-buttoned, hair wet, chewing on a granola bar. Hey, he said, mind ironing this for me? Bella's got her kindergarten graduation today. I looked at him, stunned. Are you serious? Yeah, gotta be there by 10. Dana's saving me a seat up front. I stood up so fast my chair slammed against the wall. Iron your own damn shirt, he laughed. Dude, relax. It's not a big deal. Yes, it is. You've got her calling you daddy yet? Or are you saving that for first grade? His smile dropped. I didn't give him time to answer. I pointed at the door. Get out of my house. He left, slamming the door harder than he needed to. But it didn't end there. I called Dana that afternoon. Thought maybe she'd have the decency to set things straight. She answered with a fake bright, "Hey Matt," like nothing was wrong. I didn't waste time. Is Alex your boyfriend now, or are you still pretending Leo exists? She went quiet, then laughed like I was telling a joke. Wow, you sound stressed. Maybe lay off the coffee. Cut the crap, Dana. He's acting like Bella's father. Is that the plan now? Another pause. Then her voice went cold. Whatever's going on, it's none of your business. You made it my business the minute your uncle started skipping family events with my wife. Click. She hung up on me. I just stood there, phone still in my hand, listening to nothing. That was the day I stopped talking and started watching. Because when everyone around you starts playing games, the only move left is to learn the rules. And then flip the damn board. I didn't have to wait long. A few nights after Dana hung up on me, there was a knock at my door close to midnight. I opened it and found Leo standing there, eyes red, jacket still on, like he hadn't decided whether to stay or run. I need to talk, he said. I stepped aside and let him in. He didn't sit right away. Just paced my living room, hands shaking, jaw locked. Then he stopped and looked straight at me. I put a GPS tracker on Dana's car, he said. I thought I was losing my mind. I didn't say anything. I just waited. She's been meeting someone at the same hotel, he went on. Same place 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. My stomach tightened, but I kept my voice steady. Alex. Leo nodded once, hard. Yeah, He pulled out his phone and showed me the screen. Dates, times, the same address over and over. I didn't need more than that. We stood there in silence for a few seconds. Two men in the same wreck, finally looking at the same truth. "I'm sorry," he said. "I should have believed you earlier." "It doesn't matter now," I said. "What matters is Bella." That was the turning point, not the betrayal. The kid. Bella was 6, bright, loud, always running around my place when Dana dropped her off. She liked my drawing tablet and called my office the fun room. She didn't deserve to be collateral damage in her parents' mess. Leo rubbed his face. "I don't want to blow this up yet, not for her." "I'm with you," I said. "We keep it quiet. For now." From that night on, we moved differently. Leo shifted his job so he could work from home. Told Dana it was about family balance. She didn't argue. She was too busy disappearing. Whenever she and Alex vanished for their little hotel routine, Leo would bring Bella to my place. No questions, no explanations. Bella thought it was normal. Thought we were all just hanging out. She'd sit at my desk coloring while Leo worked on his laptop at the kitchen table. Sometimes she'd ask where her mom was. "Running errands," Leo would say, and I'd feel something sharp twist in my chest every time. While they played house behind everyone's back, I got to work. Real work. I took on more projects, more strips, more game contracts. I cut sleep down to nothing. Drew through the night with my hands aching and my eyes burning. Every dollar mattered. I didn't know when things would explode, but I knew they would. We documented everything. Screenshots, dates, photos of Alex's car parked where it shouldn't be. We didn't rush it. We let them get comfortable. Months passed, then years. Dana never noticed. Alex never suspected a thing. They thought they were slick, thought everyone else was stupid. Leo and I barely talked about revenge. We didn't need to. We were too busy protecting Bella and building quiet leverage. One night, after Bella fell asleep on my couch, Leo looked at me and said, "When this comes out, it's going to be ugly." I nodded. "Not yet." We cleaned up the crayons, shut off the lights, and locked the doors like it was just another normal night. And for their sake, especially hers, we kept waiting. Leo and I kept things quiet for years. We stayed steady, patient. Watched Bella grow up without tipping the board. Then, everything shifted again. It started with my body giving out. A slow decline, nothing sudden. The kind of sickness that creeps in and doesn't leave. Doctors said it'd be a 2-year fight. Treatments, rehab, no shortcuts. I checked into a hospital outside Chicago, not far from Leo and Bella. Justine showed up twice in the first month. Once with a half-dead plant. The second time, she stayed 10 minutes, complained about parking, and left before the nurse even finished checking my IV. I didn't care. I'd stopped expecting anything from her years ago. Bella was the one I counted on. She was 15 now, smart, sarcastic, always with a sketchbook in her bag. We'd spent years building that bond. She'd text me memes, show me her comics, hug me like it actually meant something. Then one day, nothing. She stopped visiting, stopped texting. Like a switch flipped. I figured she was overwhelmed. High school, hormones, maybe Dana said something dumb. Wouldn't be the first time. But something in my gut told me it was deeper. Leo didn't say much, just kept bringing me news and pieces. Bella was busy. Bella had stuff going on. But even he seemed confused. Then came the day I finally got my answer, late afternoon. I was half asleep, IV humming, nurses whispering outside, and then I heard it. That smug, nasal voice I hadn't heard in months. Justine. She waltzed into my room wearing a tight beige blazer, hair pulled back like she was here on official business. And right behind her, grinning like the damn Joker, was Alex. He gave me a little wave. Justine didn't even sit. She pulled a thick manila envelope from her bag and dropped it on the tray table. "Thought we'd save you the hassle. These are the divorce papers. I've already signed." Alex chimed in like a sidekick who never knew when to shut up. "We figured it's about time. You've been occupied." I looked at the envelope, then up at them. "Alimony?" Justine smiled. "1,000 a month. You're still pulling in royalties, right? Shouldn't be a problem." Alex laughed like he already had the first payment spent. I sat up, slow but steady. Grabbed the papers, flipped through the first few pages, then tossed them aside. Fine, I said. Let's divorce. They froze, just for a second, just long enough for me to see it. They expected a fight, tears, anger, something, anything. Instead, I gave them silence. That smug look on Alex's face twitched. Justine tried to recover. Well, good. Glad we're all on the same page. They turned to leave, satisfied like they just won a round I didn't even play. But they had no idea what was coming. They didn't know I'd already updated the will. Didn't know about the house. Didn't know I still had every damn file, every photo, every hotel timestamp. They thought this was checkmate. It wasn't. It was my opening move. The second they walked out of that hospital room, I picked up my phone, called Leo. I'm done sitting in this place, I said. Move me closer to you. He didn't hesitate. I'll start making calls. You want Bella to help pack up the house? No, I'm not taking anything with me. I wasn't joking. I didn't want a single object from the life Justine and I built. Not the couch she picked, not the dishes from our fake anniversary dinners, not the lamp Alex gave us that probably had his smug stink all over it. I had the housekeeper toss or donate everything. The only thing I kept was my hard drive and my sketch pads. That was mine. By the end of the week, Leo had me transferred to a private clinic just 20 minutes from his new place. Bella showed up the day I got there. No warning, no, how are you? Just a silent hug that lasted 2 full minutes. That was the first crack in the wall she'd built since her 15th birthday. I didn't ask questions. I just let her sit next to me and draw while the nurses hooked me up. They started coming daily. Leo brought food, Bella brought jokes, and for the first time in months, I stopped counting minutes between treatments. Then Alex called. I let it ring the first time. He called again 10 minutes later, then texted, "What the hell did you do?" I picked up the third time, mostly to enjoy it. "What's the problem?" I asked. "Why is there a lock on the door?" he snapped. "Why is the code changed? Where's our stuff?" I leaned back in bed. "Oh, you mean the house? My house?" There was a pause. "You're kidding." "I'm not. I bought it outright 10 years ago. Put it in a trust. You never thought to ask?" "You said we could live there," he shouted. "You said—" "I never said squat. You assumed. That's on you." "This isn't funny, Matt. We have nowhere to go. Justine's freaking out." "Yeah, she should try parking at the hospital sometime. It's worse." He went quiet, like he didn't know what to say next. Then he hit me with the desperation. "You owe us. You said you'd pay $11,000 in the settlement. That was the number." I actually laughed. I said, "Talk to my lawyer. You want to negotiate? Do it through paperwork. I'm done doing things over the phone." "You bastard," he hissed. "You promised. Promises are for friends," I cut in. "You burned that bridge a long time ago." Then I hung up. No more explanations. No more debates. The next morning, the lawyer confirmed the eviction had gone through clean. Their mail was rerouted, their stuff boxed up and sitting in a storage unit across town. If they wanted it, they'd have to pay the monthly fee. I didn't care if they couch surfed for a year. Let them eat pity and regret. Meanwhile, Bella showed up with a new sketch pad and a stack of my old comics. She curled up on the couch in my room like she used to when she was 6. She didn't say much that day, just sat with me. But her showing up, that meant everything. I didn't ask where Justine was. I already knew. Out in the cold, probably wondering how it all slipped through her fingers. I didn't move the board by accident. I flipped it. 2 weeks later, I got a weekend discharge. The doctor called it low-activity recovery. I called it a chance to drop a bomb. I told Leo I wanted to visit Alex's parents. He didn't ask why. He just drove. The Burtons lived in the same house Alex grew up in. Big wraparound porch, peeling shutters, flagpole out front. We used to play basketball in their driveway until the streetlights came on. I hadn't set foot in that house in over a decade. When we pulled up, Bella unbuckled without a word and followed me up the steps. Mrs. Burton opened the door. Her eyes went wide when she saw me. "Matt," she said, hand flying to her chest. "We thought you were still in the hospital." "I was," I said. "Got out yesterday. Wanted to stop by." She stepped aside, still processing. "Of course. Come in, honey." The living room looked exactly the same. Family photos, doilies, old recliner with duct tape on the armrest. But the tension hit me the second I saw them. Alex and Justine, planted right on the couch like they lived there now. Alex gave me that fake surprised look. "Didn't know you were coming." "Yeah, I figured you wouldn't." Justine crossed her legs slow, like she was settling in for a show. So, what's this about? I ignored her and turned to Mr. and Mrs. Burton, who'd both sat down like they were bracing for bad news. I just wanted to stop by and say something face to face, I said. Justine and I are officially getting divorced. Silence. Mrs. Burton blinked. Mr. Burton sat back like someone punched him in the gut. Alex cleared his throat. You came all the way here just to say that? Justine smirked. It's not like it's a surprise. We've been separated for months. Yeah, I said, turning to her. But your little fantasy's about to hit a wall. She raised an eyebrow. What fantasy? This one where you think you walked away clean, that you and Alex are the picture of stability. She tilted her chin up. We are a real family now, something you never gave me. The second those words left her mouth, Bella stood up. She'd been quiet the whole time, sitting beside Leo, flipping through one of my old sketchbooks. But now she stepped forward, fists clenched. You're not a family, she said. Justine turned, confused. Excuse me? Bella's voice cracked, but she didn't back down. You're not my mom, you never were, and Alex sure as hell isn't my dad. Alex laughed awkwardly. Hey now, let's not… Shut up, Bella snapped. You ditched your own parents to play house with someone else's wife. You're pathetic. Mrs. Burton's eyes darted between them. Wait, Alex, what is she talking about? Bella turned to her. You didn't know? Your son's been sleeping with Dana since I was 6. The whole room dropped into dead silence. Justine's mouth opened, then closed. Bella walked over and sat next to me, her hands still shaking. I came here because he still loves me, and I love him. That's why I'm here. I didn't say a word. I just put my arm around her and pulled her close. Mrs. Burton looked like she was going to cry. Mr. Burton just stared at Alex, disgust plain on his face. Alex stood up. Mom, Dad, don't listen to this. Sit down, Mr. Burton said, voice low, steady. The kind of voice you don't argue with. Justine was frozen. She looked around like she'd walked into the wrong room. Bella, I didn't mean it like that. Bella didn't even glance at her. You meant every word. That's the problem. Alex tried one last time. Matt, come on, man. This is messed up. I looked at him. You wanted to play the hero for Dana? Then own it. Don't come crawling to your parents for sympathy when the curtain falls. I stood up. Let's go, Bella. Leo followed without a word. We left them sitting there. Alex stunned, Justine speechless, Mr. and Mrs. Burton shattered. Out on the porch, Bella squeezed my hand. That felt good, she said. I smiled. It's just getting started. We didn't wait long to finish what we started. The next weekend, Leo and I invited everyone to the lawyer's office. Neutral ground. I told Justine and Alex it was for signing final paperwork. They showed up acting like they owned the damn room. Matching beige jackets, smug as hell, thinking they were finally closing the book on me. But I had chapters left they hadn't read. Bella sat next to Leo on one side of the table. I sat across from them, still thin and pale from treatment, but clear-eyed and calm. The lawyer looked nervous. I told him not to step in unless someone got violent. Justine barely looked at Bella. I thought this was a legal meeting, not a family reunion. Relax, I said. You'll get your paperwork. But first, there's something you need to hear. Alex leaned back in his chair. Make it quick. We've got a showing at 3. Great, I said. Let's start with Bella. Justine flinched. What about her? I looked at Bella, then back at Justine. You spent years trying to make it look like she didn't belong to me, that she wasn't my family. I figured maybe it's time I clear that up. Alex scoffed. What are you saying? You think you're her dad now? I smiled. I've known I'm not her biological father since she was 7. The room went dead quiet. Justine's lips parted. What? You think Leo didn't tell me? We figured it out years ago. The timing, the DNA tests, the lies. It was obvious. She shook her head like that could undo the truth. That's not… No, you didn't say anything. You never brought it up. Because it didn't matter. I chose to love her anyway. You don't get to rewrite that. Bella's voice came out sharp. You never even tried to love me. Justine turned to her. Bella, no, you knew I was confused. You knew I was hurting. And you chose him. Leo leaned forward, voice cool and even. And by the way, that divorce you filed, you never finalized it. I checked. Justine froze. That's not possible. I signed. You filed, he said. Then you forgot to follow through. Legally, you're still married to me, and Bella's still mine. Alex turned red. You've got to be kidding, I laughed. Still want to play house now, champ? Alex slammed his hand on the table. This is all bull. None of this changes the fact that you're broken half dead in a hospital bed. Justine nodded quickly, latching on. Exactly. You think we care about what you think? You've got nothing. You've been sick for years. I pulled out the folder I'd brought and slid it across the table. You sure about that? Alex snatched it up, flipped through the papers, tax returns, contract copies, royalty breakdowns. $500,000 a year, film rights, comic licensing, game publishing, quiet deals I never talked about. They'd assumed I was scraping by. Justine leaned over, reading with him. Her eyes widened. Alex's face went pale. He looked up at me, stunned. You made this much last year? Every year since Bella was 10. Justine reached for the folder. We didn't know you weren't supposed to. She sat back, blinking fast. Matt, maybe we rushed things. Maybe we should have talked more. Alex nodded. Yeah, we could have worked this out. I mean, things got messy, but I laughed, loud and sharp. You two are unbelievable. They both froze. I stood up, slow, the way someone does when they're done being quiet. You treated me like trash. You lied, cheated, snuck around like teenagers. And now that the money's on the table, you want to crawl back? Nah. I turned to Bella. You ready to go? She stood and grabbed my arm. Let's go. Leo followed. Justine called after us. Matt, wait. I didn't turn around. Let them sit there and choke on it. We didn't even make it back to the car before my phone buzzed. Alex, of course. I let it ring twice, then picked up with a lazy, yeah? You need to talk to your father-in-law, he said, voice tight. He just fired me. Why's that my problem? You knew he was my boss. You could have warned me. You could have not screwed his daughter, I said. Choices, man. He's sending me to Louisiana, some fishing boat contract. I grinned. Good. Hope you like gutting tuna. Matt, seriously. I ended the call. Then I forwarded the voicemail to Justine's father with a short note. You asked me to keep you updated. Consider this closure. 3 hours later, Leo texted me a screenshot of Alex's social media. Status changed as to single. Justine didn't take that well. First thing she did was go crying back to her parents. They slammed the door in her face. Not metaphorically. Her brother told me they literally shut the door mid-sentence. Her mom posted a Facebook status that just said, no room in this family for betrayal. Justine ended up crashing on a friend's couch in Joliet for a while. The same friend she used to complain about. The one with 3 kids and no job. Now she was scrubbing dishes at a chain restaurant and working the register at a laundromat on weekends. I never reached out. Not once. She dug her hole. I wasn't sending a rope. Meanwhile, Bella was on fire. Straight A's, language classes, college prep. She told me she wanted to translate my comics and bring them overseas. She'd been studying Japanese and French on her own time, writing fan emails to publishers in Europe and Tokyo. She had plans, real ones, and every day she came by the hospital with new ideas, reworking old strips, designing merch, lining up Zoom interviews with bloggers and podcast hosts. You realize I should be getting paid for this, she said one afternoon, flipping through my release schedule. Internship experience, I said, sipping ginger ale. Put it on your resume. Leo laughed from the corner. She's your daughter, all right. I hadn't touched a sketch pad for weeks before that, but something about her energy made it impossible not to start again. The first panel I drew was Bella standing with a sword over a knocked-out villain. Looked suspiciously like Alex, now that I think about it. That strip went viral. A few weeks later, I signed a new licensing deal. Bella handled half the back and forth with the publisher. She was building my brand faster than I ever had. You know, she said one night while packing up, once I study abroad, I'll need you to keep the momentum going. I smiled. You think I'm going to stop now? You better not. I'm naming the agency after you. I looked over at Leo, who just gave me that quiet smile of his. The one that didn't say much, but always felt like home. I wasn't healed yet. I still had a long road ahead. Surgeries, treatments, a body that didn't always cooperate. But my mind was sharp, my hands were working again, and the people who mattered were right in front of me. 3 months later, the doctor looked at my chart, smiled, and said, "You might be going home within the year." I didn't say much, just nodded. But inside, something cracked open. Not excitement, not yet. But something that felt close. Hope. Leo came in later that afternoon with coffee and a grocery bag full of snacks Bella had picked out. She knew my favorites better than the nurses did. "You look different," he said, setting the bag down. "Doctor says I might get out next year." He raised his eyebrows. "That's big." "Yeah, figured I'd start planning." He didn't say anything at first, just sat in the chair next to me and leaned forward like he was weighing something heavy. Then he looked me straight in the eye. "I want to marry you." It wasn't loud, wasn't dramatic, just simple. "I've been thinking about it for a while," he said. "Bella and I are a package deal, you know that. But I don't want to just be around. I want this to be real." I looked down at my hands. They'd stopped shaking weeks ago. My lines were clean again, steady, confident. But I didn't answer right away. "Leo," I said, "I'm still half a machine. I've got another year of needles, scans, pills. You sure this is the road you want?" He didn't flinch. I already chose it. I didn't give him a yes, not yet. But I held his hand for a long time after that. He understood. He always did. For now, I had work to do. I got back on a schedule, 2 strips a week, then 3. Bella proofed them before they hit the site. She even started mocking up some new branding, said we needed a full relaunch when I was finally discharged. "You're going to be a new man," she said. "Might as well have a new logo." She was right. I wasn't the same guy who sat in that hospital bed months ago, blindsided by betrayal and drowning in bitterness. That guy was gone. I was building something new now. Something mine. Every panel I drew felt like a step forward. Every laugh from Bella, every quiet smile from Leo, it was momentum. The world had flipped on me once. Now I was flipping it back. Thank you for being with us. Don't miss our new stories. They're coming soon. If you haven't yet, please leave a like and follow the page to see more great content. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to create even more warm, meaningful stories. See you next time. Take care and stay curious.